little about. Have you ever read the book Legacy? It's the story of the famous All Blacks
Yes.
rugby team.
Audiobook, yes.
The audio, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Great book.
Yes.
Great book. Just totally inspiring. I mean, it's a 100-year-old team,
Yeah.
remarkable record. And obviously reading the book, you realize they put so much emphasis on culture.
Culture.
That's so much of what drove them. And I think it was 2003 when they were really struggling and they brought in some new management. The management came in and just really went back to culture again.
Right.
Yeah. As the COO, talk to me a little bit about culture and what role does that play in your job in terms of being successful at what you guys are trying to do with professional soccer in Oklahoma City?
Sure. I think it starts internally, right? Like I said, culture is so important and integral to what soccer is, but it really starts internally as a front office. And so that's something that we've really tried to turn the last 2 years is what is the culture of the front office and how do we live that? It's not just something that we put on a paper. That's not something that we print on a poster and hang up in the office. But how do we really live that? And what does that mean? And does everyone buy into that process? And if they don't, then that's something that we have to consider as well. Because really, people are your most important asset, but the overall culture is your organization.
Yeah.
It is the lifeblood. And so you need everybody to be bought into that. And when we all are, then our fans pick up on that.
Yeah,
and when our fans pick up on that, then the community picks up on that.
Yeah.
And so, that's been an evolution and a process. It's not a light switch that you can turn off. It is a river that you have to let it flow and you can't dam it up at all. So.
If there's one thing that fans hate, I think as much as anything, is when they grow up with a team that's always been their team. They've always represented a certain set of values, and then suddenly the team begins to make some decisions that violate those values, and you see a massive backlash. Right? This happens every year.
Well, we're seeing it, right now as teams rebrand because people are attached to those logos and people are attached to names. And right or wrong, it doesn't really matter. That's just that is the sense and the feeling that people have. It's innate within them to say, this is my team. I represent that. They represent me. And when those things change, it's very hard for people.
It is, very hard for them. In fact, you'll see people boycott sports. There's a big movement about that going on right now.
Right.
People who feel like their teams are making decisions and things that just go against what they believe or why they even watch sports.
Sure.
So you got a lot on your plate. Obviously you have a lot that you guys have to think about, a lot of moving parts. Talk a bit on your role as COO, running the operations of the organization. What are the biggest challenges from your position, other than establishing and reinforcing culture?
Right.
What are the biggest challenges to accomplish what you guys are trying to do with soccer in Oklahoma City?
Yeah, I think 6 months ago I probably would have had a slightly different answer for you. As we face COVID, that's been the focus and the challenge for 2020 is how do we get on the field and how do we play for our community? How do we be in the community and playing and not in a bubble like some of the various sports leagues have done? But overall, and really overarching to that, and the things that I concern myself with is how are we growing? It's one thing to be in a community. It's another thing to be a part of the community. It's another thing to help. What are we going to do and how are we going to be here for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years? When you look at the culture of soccer, a lot of people look to the English Premier League. That's the top. That's it. They've had 100 years to work on this.
Yeah.
We're in year 7. We're not there yet.
Right.
We're still building. We're still building what that means and what that looks like. And I'd say that is the most important thing we can do. And having good partners that come along for that ride is so vital to helping us get to those pieces.
Yeah, no doubt about it.